What's something about music that you've come to realize as you've gotten older?
Oh, that's a good question. Something about music I've come to realize as I've gotten older. I would say this one, I guess, more pertains to my music, but my sound is going to change as I change. And the way I write is going to change as I change. And I notice that a lot, especially with this EP that I'm working on and releasing right now, is that it's all changing very quickly because I'm changing very quickly, and so therefore the way I write and the way I view my music is changing. And that was very weird when I first kind of came to notice it because I was like, this isn't what I normally do. What's happening? And why am I writing like this? And that's because, as people change, so does their likes and their dislikes. And coming to understand that as a musician was really interesting because I found I was writing in a different style. I also love poetry. I love, love, love poetry with all of my heart. Um, and so I noticed that like my writing style became more poetry like, and then I would find a melody that worked with it after, which I used to be not like that at all. I would just write lyrics and have a melody in mind right away. So I think like, yeah, something I've learned about how like music changes and how I change is that like it's an ever evolving process. And like going back to Taylor Swift, like that is the best example of an ever evolving process. Like every album could be a different genre, but it's all the same artist. And you can still say like, no, that's Taylor Swift's sound.
Do you ever find yourself writing poetry just for the sake of it, not just to create lyrics, but to express yourself?
Yeah, I've actually been really into slam poetry recently. I love watching slam poetry. Yeah, I've been watching so much of it on YouTube, and kind of writing my own because as a creative, I think, especially like you'll understand, like it's just because I'm a musician and singer songwriter doesn't mean I don't have creative interests in other things that are arts or are not just singing and songwriting. And sometimes singing and songwriting, you don't want to do it because it's your job and it's what you do all the time. So sometimes you need a break. And in those times, I'll look to dance or I'll look to poetry because they allow me to get my creative wants out without having to feel like it's always work. And I think that's really important as a musician is to not always think that just because music is your job as well as your passion does not mean it is all you have to do with all your time in the world. You're a human being and you need to give yourself the space to explore everything because that's what will make your music better.